Love it. Right here, guys. Hey guys, right this way.
Back at the bottom.
You guys, one more shot over here, please. Hey, this camera right here.
That's a winner. That's a winner.
Thank you guys so much.
Shake kind of do neck and neck with the project is really exciting.
And once more, sir. Right here.
So the drop, don't stop. Air Force
Thank you.
My last question is, obviously this is a sequel. Have you guys started to think about an Enemies 3 or maybe
I have. Trying to bend these.
I think only one whisper.
Right here.
This is O'Shea. Big into the It's great. He understands the assignment and, you know, oh yeah. It's great.
When we do a wide shot, I'll center it so there, all around. But I guess we'll have those 5 people that they want to see.
These These guys are like Abbott and Costello. They make me laugh. They make me cry. They are like two guys who have the greatest combination of people that I've seen on camera in a very, very, very long time. Their relationship is so good, and they know their characters so well, but they work and work and work. They were next door neighbors in the location where we worked, and they were always going back and forth to each other's houses to work on the movie. So I can't wait till people see them together, because they are the dynamic duo. He's a great director. When I first met him and I read the script, I thought, this is a great caper. And when Jerry went around L.A. looking at places that Christian was thinking of shooting, he said, I've never seen a director more prepared to direct a movie than Christian. So I love Christian. He's amazing. Great writer, great director. I mean, wait till audiences see this movie. They're going to like jump out of their seats. And the sets, the scenery, because we're in Europe. So it's a whole different thing. And I haven't seen a movie like this, film like this, in very, very long time. Since the 60s, when we saw a lot of movies being shot in Europe. And I got to tell you, this is gorgeous.
It feels great, man. You know, the project is an amazing project. Usually, it's a lot of pressure on the writer to follow up after the first one is successful, and Christian Gudigas, he delivered. He's the writer-director of this project, and O'Shea, I feel like his character went up. It's a lot more powerful performances from O'Shea in this film. Gerard, I expect him. He's already 5 stars in my head, so I expect him to perform. When I was dying in the film, O'Shea come over to me, he said, "Are you all right? Are you all right? You're not dying, are you?" Like, he was just playing with us, you know. But now it's cool to see we move to the next, the next version of it, and it's exciting, man. We didn't trust Donnie initially. The entire crew did. So it was like he was the question mark, and then he kind of turned into like, he had a Kaiser Soze moment where it was kind of all about him at the end of the film. What made me attracted to this project is it had backstory for the characters that made you more passionate about it, like to think a little bit more about the people involved. You know, like they showed my character's family ahead of me actually going to do the heist. The people that usually they convince themselves that they know how to do it so they can get away with it. But you know, that's what you would say when they catch bank robbers. It's usually on bank robbery 4 or 5 because they convince themselves they can get away with it. They do it again and again and again till it doesn't go right.
You know, I'm excited. This has been a long time coming, and it's all the better for it. Really proud of just the whole story of how we got the first movie together and how over time we developed such an amazing fan base, and we've really taken it up a big notch in terms of, you know, location, story, scope, tone. It's a blast. It's such an epic journey, and it's so cinematic, and I can't wait for audiences to experience that. But by the way, just another thing is they don't make movies like this anymore in terms of something that is a heist movie, that is an action movie, but has so much character and so much richness that you don't normally get in those movies, you know? Much more gimmicky normally. You get to spend very immersed in this world and with Big Nick and Donnie, me and O'Shea, and therefore you get into this movie and you're so in it. Like, by the time you get to the end, I remember thinking, I feel like I've taken such an epic journey emotionally and in every way. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. I can't wait for people to see it. I love Big Nick. He's maybe my favorite character that I've played in terms of somebody who's at least a little more regular, not like a Leonidas. I had so much fun with him. I could breathe such life into him in a script that was, and in a movie that was very elevated with a really interesting heist and fantastic characters. It was so kind of heart-pounding and such a specific, gritty world that we created. I loved that character and how the first movie turned out. So for me to get a chance to take it somewhere else, to kind of expand the world of the franchise and Big Nick see him head to head with Donnie that we kind of only really saw a little bit of in the movie, but take it to places that you don't expect it to go, it's really a ride. So for me, in for a penny, in for a pound. Where could we take it? Could we keep the movement, beyond the first movie and keep surprising and entertaining people? He's one of a kind, O'Shea, and I mean that in all the best ways. He's terrifically talented. I saw that in the first movie, but this time having a chance to, do all, just scene after scene, where between the great script that we had, but also our chemistry together, and then the improvisation that we were allowed to do, we just finished every scene. I'm going, that is great, and more importantly, maybe, is his decency as a human being. Like, I always watch how people, like, he's crazy, and normally when you're crazy, it's hard not to piss some people off, but he manages to be crazy and be so respectful to everybody that people have such a good time with him, and that was just a big part of what I loved. The first Den and this Den, they're really like weirdly, even though they can be very violent movies and exciting, but they're kind of like a family atmosphere on set. People really come together in these movies, and whenever you finish the movie, you're left very, very sad about the end of the experience, Yeah, so we shot them in the EV Porsche Taycan, and it was amazing because it just so happened that they had some that they'd made for another movie that hadn't worked out. So they had 5 or 6 prototypes that were they were going to scrap. They weren't going to use them, and that's exactly what we needed, and they were amazing. So I think we have the first, sounds weird, but electric car chase in a movie, but it is so exciting, that scene. And just like, I remember when we were doing it, the involvement with it, let's make this as violent as like you feel every bullet, you feel every move, every reload. It is incredibly visceral, and we were making it hoping, is this actually going to be interpreted in the way that we hope? And it is so exciting in the movie, but also, by the way, it's so exciting because you're living with these characters more than I say you normally do in these kind of movies, like harking back to the movies of the 80s, and so I think that it's one of my favorite action scenes that I did, and by that point the audience they're so in it. So yeah, excited. We really got a chance to kind of turn up the volume in this. We had a much bigger scope. We went to these incredible locations where we were so cinematic. So we managed to give it a completely different tone. We had incredible action, and the whole movie just looks, you see it. I've seen it on a big screen, I've seen it on a small screen, and watching it on the big screen, especially with an audience, is incredibly engaging and involved and captivating. It's a ride, but I think best to see it on the big screen. Even the sound as well. Christian, our director, pays such attention to the sound of the movie. And then this man and how he shot it, our cinematographer, who turned up just at the right time, did an amazing job and making this movie look so much better than it deserved to look. No, I'm joking.
You look more handsome in real life.
Yeah.
Number one, because I know how interesting that character can get, and you don't really see a lot of them in the first one, but that's on purpose because he is the big reveal. And you got to be excited to get new tools to work with when it comes to a character like that. And who doesn't want to do a sequel? Gerard is the man. We really had a lot more time to develop chemistry, and we were neighbors for a long portion of filming, and just picking his brain, getting advice from him, and being able to go toe-to-toe in a different way, and having that camaraderie, knowing somebody has your back like him, you can't buy that. Oh, that's the best part. I look so cool. But yeah, the Porsche Taycan Turbo, it's a dream car. It rides so smooth, but I mean, my favorite part is obviously the driving. That was the one aspect, I think, from the first one that was so interesting about Donnie, is that dude can drive. And, I mean, you do movies to do stuff that you wouldn't do in your everyday life. And I don't plan on driving super fast with Gerard Butler shooting out the window every day. So, it's pretty cool. With the resurgence that the first one had, there hasn't been a movie like Den of Thieves 1 since Den of Thieves 1. So this is a new, fresh thing for the new year, and within the drama of suspense, heist, action. It's a great way to start your year off. Besides, the IPs that we see in films lately.